This is Ruud.
Hi!
What are we going to learn today?
Today we're going to learn about composition, and we're going to look also in how Rembrandt uses his compositions. Okay, composition. What is composition? Composition has to do with dividing your surface into different parts to express certain things, to tell a story in a way. And Rembrandt did it very obviously because he was really a storyteller. So he uses his composition to make a specific story. Now, but what is composition? We know it from music, of course, with all kinds of tones and instruments. But the only instrument we have today is a charcoal. By making a composition, you direct the one who is standing in front of your artwork. You direct his way of perceiving your piece of art. Rembrandt wanted to create movement. And by using his composition in a way that the movement is almost palpable. Now, what he done, for instance, in the Night Watch, he didn't want to do things in the middle, but he wanted to do things just outside of the middle, so making it asymmetrical, because this figure is important. The figure next to him is important also. But you see all kinds of sticks, and the sticks go that way. And here's a flag going that way. And here's a gun going that way. And here's a man banging a drum. And it's going that way also. Here are three figures. Four figures. And what he made here, because they end up here in the dark. So here's the residual space again. And this residual space is pushing towards this figure. It's like squeezing a balloon almost. For instance, the man over here on the side, this one, this is his arm in front of someone else. You could say, why? Why? Because now the other one who is standing behind here, this figure, we can't see anymore. But Rembrandt needed this because of this direction with the hand is giving a movement towards this important figure again. So by following all the directions and all the movements, they all go to the middle. And now the middle is this black man, and he's standing next to a white man, so it's very obvious that those two will pop out in your composition. But also, and that's very clever, when you look at the man who has this flag in his hand, and he's looking to it, this guy, this is dark. And the darkness, that's a residual form again, it surrounds this little girl over here. The little princess, which is surrounded by all those black things, but also all the diagonals go towards her. So, in this way, Rembrandt let us have a focus on the girl. He's very clever in directing our way of perceiving this painting, and actually that in the whole Night Watch, with all those figures around it, all the directions make us look, in fact, to the little girl with the chicken and with the black man with his hand in the light. And of course the rest of the people are also important, but for the composition he uses them only to give those directions So that's how you use a composition in a very vivid way, because it's not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical, but he makes sure that we discover the most important parts by using those directions. Okay. Now,
Because this is our last episode of the Rembrandt course, we would like to encourage you to build your own composition, as Ruud will be doing in the rest of the episode.
now we're gonna make a composition of our own. To help me, I just made this. This is just a piece of paper. I cut out a frame. Oops. Use one eye, not both eyes, because by using one eye you get the depth out of your vision, so things become flat. I'm gonna use this to make a sort of funny Rembrandtesque drawing. Let's start. I start with the light part. Yeah, the light part. And I'm gonna do that with a big brush. Big brush, bit of ink, not too dark. Just to get my composition right. And let's see. Yeah. So we go here, we go there. I use this very light form of, this is a stand, which is over here. Up, up. You see, the funny thing is, this is all kinds of lines, which we saw in the night watch also. All the directions, but this time it's not lances or that sort of thing, but it's stands. There's this person sitting over here, so little hat. There's someone standing over there. Up, up. It's just for the composition now. So I just begin with water. I'm going to use a bigger brush, some shadow over here. Hoppatee. You see the composition already. It's not in the middle. It's asymmetrical. And now I do a bit of detailing with black ink. Because this one, because this is, I'm gonna dry it up a little bit, because this is just for the positioning of the different things. And now I'm gonna use black to be more specific. He has headphones. Zip. It's just for the composition. I'm not gonna make portraits or that sort of thing. It's just to show how you can use your surrounding just to, here's his shoes with laces. Zip. Or zip, zip, zip. Black shoes. Zip. He has black beard. And he's smiling. He's standing over there. There's someone standing over here. Oh no, sitting. Zip, cap with an initial on top of it, N. Y. Let's be specific. Legs, he's got very long legs. Zip. Up. Okay, so now we got our main characters. Then the nice thing is that the couch has these things. We can use that to get the attention on this. So it's a nice couch. It's from leather. The girl has to dry up a little bit, and then I'm gonna give her the next layer. She has long hair. And her sweater has little stripes. When you look at things, use the structures which you find on the surface. Okay, now I'm going to combine those things because they're too loose and I want to make a sort of light and dark in it. So I'm going to look very carefully where the shadows are. This is dark. Dark, dark, dark. And it goes so. Behind the couch, it's dark also. I'm going to exaggerate things because it's purely about getting a composition done. So, you see, I need his head to be dark again. Because what I want to do, what I want to try is, this is where the light comes from. So I'm gonna make everything dark because I want the light to be the most important thing. This is stairs. These are the stairs. Dark. And what I see now, that the girl has this, on the ground, there's this funny shape of the shadow. I can use that because I need another specific thing just to use it as a compositional element. Now, this is white in the back, but because I want this to be the main source of light, I'm gonna make it black. I use it purely to make a composition in such a way that we get this feeling of a light source, and also the feeling that I'm surrounded by these people. I'm going to exaggerate things. I'm going to exaggerate the directions. And what I see now, that's where this comes in. I need more detailing, because this guy needs some more detailing Now he's looking away because you don't want to lose certain things. So he's looking with one eye to the camera. I forgot the camera. There it is. It's black. It's going too slow. Up. This. Yeah. There comes the camera. And that's the guy who's looking at me. Now I'm gonna put in front the stand, zap, and with a tripod, and because actually the whole camera thing is quite important, I'm gonna make this a bit dark around it. The couch. There's this stand. Of a tripod. And I like that form. So there's another source of light here. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the white which is left over here, but I'm gonna make the rest black. And I do that because then by making this black and just in the middle keeping it light, it gets some attention, and the attention I'll exaggerate by doing this funny structure, because then you'll see what is that on the left corner. So your eyes go to this, and it's trying to direct your way of looking at things. Okay, it's only a sketch, so I'm gonna make some. This is here. I can use one line also to emphasize the girl, so she gets her own line on top of her. You see that you have to do it all the way, because when I stop the line here, it doesn't work. I have to go with the line until the figure. So then the line touches your subject and your eyes will go to that subject. I made these little lines to get your attention to this guy. I'm almost done with this now. What you see is that the trousers have to be a little more precise, just to get your attention. This is good. The only thing is he has to get a little bit dark. So here's the light, there's the light, it goes until here. Light, bit more shadow. Here. See, and a little bit. Okay, I'll finish this now. One, because always do things until really the bottom of your work. So when you put black around it, it helps. To make your composition really capture it within the frame. Okay, the only thing I think now is so, whoop. Okay, I'm finished. This was the lesson about composition. I hope you liked it. I did like it. See you next time.
Thanks Ruud, and thank you for watching Rijkscreative's Rembrandt course. We will be back in a couple of weeks with a new course.